When we look in relationships, though, and talk about it more specifically about how it becomes a factor in relationships, it's the way I'm thinking and feeling about my partner plays a critical role in what I receive from them in my experiences. So I really have to be conscious about how I'm thinking about my partner. It's not just about when I'm with them and we're communicating, it's about how am I thinking and feeling about them.
Can you give us some examples of how this works?
Yes. So if let's say I'm away from my partner and I'm thinking critical thoughts about them. I say things like, when I see my partner, she never wants to kiss me. She never wants to hug me. She never tells me she loves me.
She's not fun anymore.
She's not fun anymore. I mean, so I have these kinds of thoughts.
Always nagging.
She's nagging me all the time. Whatever it is, if I'm consistently thinking those kinds of thoughts, I'm sending that energy out, and I'm much more likely to get that from her in return. So it's an interesting concept. But here's what happened in my relationship. I began to change the way I was thinking about my wife. And when I started to do that, and I would sit down and I would start to really think about all the wonderful things I loved about her, her positive aspects, things that I appreciated about her. And the more I did that, the more I activated those things that I appreciated, the more I began to see them in her. And then the more I began to receive them in my experiences with her. So I sort of experimented with this firsthand in my own relationships. And then I began to read more and more about this, and then I began to teach it and see it in my clients and people that I work with. So, and that's the reason. So, and this is not something that I think you can just believe and say, okay, here's the concept and you can believe it. You really have to kind of play with this concept a little bit and find out for yourself whether or not this is true or not, whether or not this works for you.